in your way if I'm here?
Just in the corner.
Okay.
That's the only time you get in the way is when we're
This is my best side anyway.
like right there. You're not in the way. Right?
All right, I'll try not to move. All right.
You're right on.
All right.
Nothing happens in the corner anyways except penalties.
No. No. One game last year. Well, that was kind. Gotta go stand next to Bill. Oh boy. He's got me set up for the end of the year. Most of it.
This guy's the slowest Zamboni driver I think I've ever seen.
I think you're probably right. Yeah. I think I gotta go stand next to my friend Bill. One for the other. Hey, very pleasant good evening to you from Orono, opening night in Minnesota Boys High School hockey for both of these teams. We kick off our coverage on the Youth Hockey Hub tonight with a very fine Class A matchup. First rankings aren't out yet, but if they were, both of these teams would be in the top 10 for sure. You in commercial now?
Splash, splash, apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. When your windshield's full of grime, bugs, dirt, and snow, just use a little splash and be safe on the road. Splash, 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 apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. See safely on the road when you apply a little splash.
You know what works? FVP Auto Parts work. Trusted, tested, selected. You know what works? FVP Stay Tuned works. Engine buildup doesn't stand a chance. FVP. Reach for what works.
I'm back in Orono as we prepare for our opening night for two very good Class A high school hockey teams. The East Grand Forks Green Wave to our right in the green, 22-9 last season, third place in Minnesota Class A against the Orono Spartans in the home white. 18-10 last season, 2 seasons removed from their state championship in 2018. Jeff Pappas with you with the call tonight here on the Youth Hockey Hub. Finn Grandy getting the start for Orono in goal. 13 games in the regular season last year, a 1.91 goals against average, 5 shutouts. And they take on an East Grand Forks team that is talented and young. Most players back from last season are not at the top of their scoring charts. Trey Osmus, a North Dakota commit, in the starting lineup, and they're arguably their top player, Landon Parker, as well, back from last season's team. In goal for them is Austin Cooley, a senior who did not play last year for East Grand Forks. So we are ready to go. The Green Wave working right to left as we call the first period for you. And it's Landon Parker on the draw against Zach Simon for Orono, and they can't get the draw done. Now they'll do it. Comes to the near side. And played ahead. Here comes East Grand. Parker. Landon Parker to the near side. Lost possession on the half wall. And it's shot back in. Grandy with a stick save for Orono. First shot on goal of the game. We're going to have a hard time in that near side corner. That's where the students are standing. Down the wing, centers it, and it's cool. Him out. Pullman shoots from a sharp angle off the traffic. Schlenk back. Players from both teams crashing in. Cooper Clares, number 19, one of them. Clear but not out. And now the Spartans are able to bring it down the far wing. Oh. And it's picked up on the near side. Orono getting some zone time. A centering pass with Jamie Basil comes all the way back in the Orono zone. Freddie Brophy, 39, plays it ahead, and now Basil over the line. He left a drop pass and a hard hit thrown there in the near corner on Tichy. Now cleared around on the far side, and East Grand will get control. Clear to the far side boards, and Emery from the red line is shouldered off. Puck loose at neutral ice. 2 minutes gone here in the first period. No score from Orono, just underway. We're brought to you by FVP Parts tonight as well. Orono picks it up. Shea Anderson at the blue line, lost possession. Outside the East Grand Forks blue line, and Parker will play it. Broken up there by Bradley Walker, and he'll play it back in. Randy came out on He'll go behind the net. Cleared to the far side, picked up and played out by East Grand Forks Jackson Panzer, who is a freshman, number 17. Now loose along the far boards. Cleared around on the near side, and here's Basil controlling for Orono. Takes a shoulder bump and then shoots it rink wide. Here's Tichy over the line, ridden off by Logan Spencer for East Grand, who then falls. And the Green Wave will control it behind their goal. Cleared up the near side boards and out to neutral ice. It's in skates, now picked up by Osmus. Trey Osmus over the line as he falls. Low bridge there. And he is slow to get up. Now it comes back into the East Grand Forks zone. It's broken up at the blue line. And East Grand controls on the near side. This is Caleb Schmidlberg, number 8, another freshman. Now it's cleared to the right side boards and out to center. Here's Orono with a 2-on-1. Brecken over the line. Aaron Brecken centers, and we have an Orono player in the goal as he was tied up by the back checking defenseman on that side, Garrett Beauchamp. And a face-off coming up to the left of East Grand Forks goaltender Austin Cooley. 12:56 to play in the opening period. On opening night, if there were rankings out, both of these teams would probably be in the top 10. And a couple of proud programs going at it. And of course, the seniors on this Orono team were sophomores, and they won state 2 years ago. Now played to the left edge of the East Grand Forks goal. Centering pass and a save made by Cooley against the right post. Opportunity there for George James for Orono, and we'll get a face-off to Cooley's right, and a face-off in the defensive zone for East Grand Forks. Orono white on white. It's going to be a little challenging. They do have sleeve numbers, thank goodness for that. They play behind the goal, and here's Josh Nelson in the left corner. He will lose it behind the net, but carrying on the far side is Schultz for East Grand. It clears out to center. They can't touch it, they'd be offside, and now East Grand Forks will play to neutral ice. Picked up by Holm, who will play it on in. Cooper Holm lost it behind the net, and James with a full head of steam comes around and plays it out to center. Anderson plays it over to the far side for Josh Nelson. Now Anderson plays to center, trying to latch onto it. Parker can't. And here comes Orono back in. Simon over the line. Half a step, shoots, save made. And a stop by Austin Cooley. They didn't have much on it there. Simon came in and he had a full step behind the defense, but could not lift the puck. He was trying to deke to his forehand there and was unable to find room on the forehand side. Face-off coming up to the left of Austin Cooley, who comes up for the first important stop of the game. It's over 5 minutes gone in the first. There's a clean face-off win and a shot whistled off the traffic by Brophy. Now behind the goal, cleared around on the near side for Holm for East Grand, and now out to center it comes. It's turned back by Tichy at the blue line, loose at neutral. Now Parker takes a shoulder hit and goes down. So Orono intending to play the body here. Now we got another hit thrown in the left corner of the Orono zone, and I think the referees are going to be watching this fairly closely here. We have a whistle, delayed offside called, and a face-off at 11.5 minutes to go in the first half, but they are taking the body, and the referees are letting them go here in the early going. Face-off coming up at neutral ice. Pullman on the draw against Mose Messerly. Pullman wins the draw for the Green Wave, and it's shot in rink wide by Spencer. The near side Brophy behind the goal, left it in the right corner. And now it's cleared back out to neutral ice. Turning there, Osmus. Rink wides it back into the Orono zone. Brophy now comes out the right side, banks it ahead, and it's held in by Osmus right on the line. A centering pass and a stick lifted there. Gus Hendrickson plays it to center for Orono. Coming up on 6 minutes gone here in the first period, and East Grand Forks comes to the near side. Osmus headmans, and that's broken up by Basil, who shoots it back in. Cooley sets it up for the Green Wave. Now a left wing pass to the near side for Schlenk. At center, he is shouldered off. Nice work there by Orono, clogging up neutral ice on these last couple of breakout attempts by East Grand. And now Orono, Shea Anderson backing into his zone, feeds the near side. Clares lays it ahead. Now Brecken over the line. He is taken out against the wall by Emery. And now it's behind the East Grand Forks goal. And they'll try up the middle. Evan Pedersen playing it in. Grandy unable to cut it off behind the goal. Now played back around on the far side for Jack Anderson along the wall. He backhands it. It's going to roll to the right point and held in. A stick save made by Grandy. Puck comes off to the near side. And the Spartans lay it out to center. And there's a stiff shoulder check thrown there and a finished check as East Grand Forks aggressive again at neutral ice. Played back into the Orono zone to the left. That was Schmidberg, again the freshman, taking the body for East Grand Forks. Now it's played all the way back in their zone to the left. They wave off the icing. And now played back behind the goal for East Grand Forks, Josh Nelson. Head to the far side, one touch. Here's a 2-on-1. Parker with Holm on his left, over the line. Parker closes in, shoots, and a save made by Grandy. A good chance there for East Grand Forks, and back comes Orono through neutral ice. Tichy lays it forward, broken up and played back out to neutral ice. James in the center circle plays it through to the East Grand Forks blue line. It's off the linesman on that side, and Holm will play it ahead. Parker over the line. He's shouldered in hard against the boards. Hadley Stevenson goes after the puck in the right corner, and now Orono will break out through the middle. Here's Simon down the far wing. He's shouldered off. Comes to Basil, and he'll shoot it back into the East Grand Forks zone as they'll finish a change. Now played back into the Orono zone, coming up on the halfway mark of a scoreless first period. Basil plays it, and now loose at the blue line, picked up by Pullman on the far side for East Grand. A shot and a blocker pad saved by Grandy. Comes to the near side wall, and players from both teams go in for it. And East Grand will come out. Here's a backhanded shot against the short side post. A save made by Grandy. And we'll get a face-off. Good shift for East Grand there. And we'll get a face-off in the Orono zone. They have outshot their hosts by 7-3 in the early going. 8:26 to go in the first period of play. Brought to you tonight by Splash Ice Melt Shaker Bags. Simply tear open and shake on surfaces where safety really matters. Face off in the Orono zone, and the Spartans break out. Down the far side, Jack Anderson over the line. He's got a player on his right. Anderson to the slot, and a shot rising over the top of the cage by Hendrickson. That didn't miss by much. Osmus in the left corner for the Green Wave. Can't get out. Held in by Basil. Played it back behind the net, and Spencer had to control it. It hits a back of the cage, a centering pass. Hendrickson now lays it up the slot. A shot goes off the traffic by Jack Anderson. As Orono starting to buzz a little bit. Played down the far wall, and now played deep into the zone by Jackson Panzer. And Orono will clean up. 7:47 to go in the first period. Over the line they come. Shea Anderson in possession, lays it behind the goal. Centering pass bounces as it comes up the slot. Looking there for Jack Anderson. That didn't go, and now centering pass is deflected over the glass and out of play. We'll get a face-off. 7:34 to go in the opening period. Orono's season last season as the defending champions ended in the section semifinals against Egan. A face-off coming up outside the blue line, and now played back deep into the East Grand Forks zone, back behind the net. And it's Josh Nelson trying the far side. They can't get out there. Nelson will backtrack into the right corner. Then he reverses up the wall looking for Emery and can't get it to him. How about a third try? And now Nelson is shouldered. Spencer in to help. Now back behind the net. Anderson to the near side. Pullman and Orono doing a nice job on his forecheck here. They're trying to break out up the boards, and East Grand having some trouble there. Orono has none of it. Here's Brophy at the right point, and he'll fail to hold it in. The puck played past him, but it's going to be icing against East Grand Forks. So we'll go all the way back. 6:51 to go in the opening session for face-off. Osmus, 23 points in the regular season a year ago. Parker, 21, including 11 goals. The top three scorers from last season, Tanner Mack, Carter Beck, and Jake Jelly, all lost to graduation. So East Grand Forks has to rebuild, but one thing that we're certain of is that they will likely find a way to do it. Good program. And here they come through center. This is Parker. Over the line, Landon Parker cuts to the slot, and then had a poke checked away by Shea Anderson. In the right corner, Anderson gets a rough ride. No scrap for it. It comes up the slot. Here's a rising shot off the traffic by Osmus. And now Orono will play down the far side. Brecken shoots it into the East Grand Forks zone. 6:20 to go in the first. Cleared around on the near side. And the Green Wave to center. And trying to drag it back to his stick is Pullman. Backhanded centering pass. Nice play. And a shot by Schultz goes wide. Follow up in front. It's loose. And East Grand is buzzing. And there's a shot that goes off the defense and wide by Trey Osmus. Now cleared past Osmus all the way back into the zone. It's deflected, so no icing. Osmus will have to come back for it with a pursuer. Spencer on the far wall banks it off the boards behind Schlenk. and it'll come all the way down the ice. That's an icing call against East Grand Forks, but good shift there for the visitors as Parker's line and Osmus making some things happen down low, and Finn Grandy kept busy on that last shift. 5:45 to go in the opening period. 7-3 on the shot board for East Grand Forks. Pullman will draw against Simon. Check that. Logan Spencer comes to Brophy at the right point. Plays it to the half wall on the near side. And it's now cleared back out to center. Brophy plays it ahead, and that's stolen away. And Garrett Beauchamp plays it on in for East Grand Forks. Loose at neutral ice. Beauchamp at the red line waiting for the puck to come to him. Now he does get it and rink wides it into the Orono zone to the far side. James along the boards in the left corner. George James plays it ahead. Simon takes a hit and throws it behind his net. So we're coming up on 5 minutes to play in the opening period. It's played to center past Beauchamp, and now here comes Walker in. Leaves a drop, held in at the left point. Here's a shot that's whistled wide by James. Rebound comes into the crease area, and the goaltender Cooley makes a stop, and getting a rough ride there, Gus Hendrickson, who was in the wrong place at the wrong time from the defenseman's point of view, and he is escorted out of the crease. Face-off coming up in the East Grand Forks zone with 4:54 left in the opening period. Glad to have you along on the hub here tonight as we start our coverage of high school hockey 2019-2020. It's that time of year again. Nelson clears around on the near side. It's played ahead and shot back into the Orono zone to the left. Hadley Stevenson in the left corner. Rink wides to the near side. And the Spartans break out. Jack Anderson through center. Basil over the line. Lays it back down in front. Tipped wide by Clares, who goes after it in the left corner. There's 4.5 to go now in the opening period. Nelson on the far boards clears, but not out. Here's a shot by Shea Anderson that goes off the traffic, and then it's played back past him. Check that, Stevenson. It's 11 instead of 10. Stevenson now plays to the near side, and Basil turns, leaves it for the on-rushing Anderson, who rink wides it into the zone. Orono will finish a change. Osmus back behind his net. His outlet pass is stolen by Basil. Centering pass, and before it could get to the net, Mose Messerly had his stick lifted. Now Brophy feeds over to the left side, and that's Brody Schultz picking it off, playing to center, and here comes Holm over the line. Holm closes in for Parker, and a diving play by James to break that up. Back comes Orono through center. Stevenson working to his left. Mose Messerly plays it in, and it's going to go into the right corner of the East Grand Forks zone. Osmus in the right corner. Backhands it high, and it's flipped ahead by Schultz, comes out to center. 3.5 to go in the first half. Carrying on is Spencer, and he'll rink wide it into the zone, but it's offside. We'll get a face-off at neutral with 3:27 to go in the opening session. Orono on the season, we mentioned Mose Messerly, 31 points. Zach Simon, a 43-point man last season, 22 goals and 21 assists. So the top two scorers back for Orono. And Simon is the fellow that makes a lot of things happen for them. And here, East Grand coming through center. It's broken up by Brophy at the blue line and plays it rink wide to the far side. It's tipped ahead, and Basil tries to throw it in front, and that's intercepted by Peterson, and back comes East Grand Forks down the far side. Shot right on, and a rebound got away from the goaltender, Grandy. Now a centering pass broken up at the right edge, and James goes back behind his net with 3 minutes to go in the opening session. East Grand is rolling 4 lines here in the first period, played back behind the goal, and it's controlled by Brecken, cleared around on the near side. There's a stiff shot thrown on Hendrickson, who rink wides at the center anyway, and now into the East Grand Forks zone, played ahead by Walker. It comes on to the goaltender, Cooley, to the right corner, and the Green Wave play it out to center, and the puck is shot ahead by Pullman into the right corner of the Orono zone. The Spartans back behind their net, cleared up the near side boards, and Emery back behind the net, cleared over to the far side, and Nolan Tichy after it for the Spartans, and now Jack Anderson throws a hit. Emery along the far boards for the Green Wave, has it, looks to center it, it's deflected before it can get to Avery. And here's Basil with 2:10 to go. He plays it ahead off the skate of Osmus, gets it back, shoots it in with a teammate trapped, so they have to tag up. And now a delayed offside is called as Tichy didn't get the message, and we'll get a face-off at neutral with 2:03 to play in the opening session. We'll choose an FVP player of the game as part of our kickoff coverage here tonight. It's to have high school hockey back in the state of hockey. Face-off in the East Grand Forks zone. Pass up the middle for Parker, tips it in. And chasing after it is Jack Anderson in the left corner. He takes a stiff shot from Schultz in the left corner. Minute 51 to go. Played around on the near side, and Basil along the near wall for Orono. Now goes back behind the net, and they'll try the left side. It's flipped, and it's going to ring the dasher boards and go into the Orono bench for a stoppage with a minute 41 to play in the opening period. Shots 8-5. There have been no penalties so far, so it's been... There's no penalties called. I didn't say there weren't any, but they've let them play here in the first period. Now Clares and Schlenk trading stick pleasantries before the face-off, and now Stevenson clears around on the near side. It's over 90 to go in the period. A shot rings the boards and comes to the right point. Josh Nelson back behind the goal. Poolman looks to center it, and that goes off the defense to the near side. It's held in by Evan Peterson. Now flipped back behind the net, and the Spartans trying to take care of business. Loose at the left edge of the crease, and Grandy had the post covered on that side. Comes to the left point. Here's Peterson shooting, and he's away high over the top of it. Now Nelson along the half wall will play it down behind the net. Carson Schlenk now goes behind the goal, and we have an East Grand player dumped behind the net. Last minute of play in the period. It's right on the blue line, and it's cleared back into the zone. And Orono will chase it down. 50 seconds to go. Stevenson lays it up the near side, and it's cleared back into the East Grand Forks zone. Osmus will chase it down, and he'll bank around on the far side with 40 seconds to go in the period. Bank to center for Cooper Holm, who overskates, carrying on Parker. Over the line, Parker back to Cole. Tried to come in front, broken up by Rohrer, but he couldn't see it. Puck cleared away and back out to center. And Osmus will rink wide it right back in. 25 to go in the period. Long Karam off the inboards, and Grandy will trap it to get a stoppage with 23 seconds to play in the opening period. Face-off coming, and they will have them do it again with 23 seconds to go. Puck comes to the near side, a little saucer pass to the right side. Does not connect for Rohrer, and now played into the zone, and we have an offside. With 15 seconds to go in the first period. No score, but plenty of contact between these teams. Parker will draw for East Grand against Zach Simon. Puck down, and it's into the East Grand Forks zone, picked up by Parker. And now loose at neutral with 10 seconds to go. Here's Parker down the near wing. He takes a shot, and that's deflected behind the net by Jack Anderson. Parker tries to come out the left side and is leveled on a shoulder check at the right edge of the crease by Basil. Boy, he threw a hit there, and we're going to get the end of the first period. Shots on goal in the first, 8-5 for East Grand Forks, and we have no score after one period here on the Youth Hockey Hub.
You know what works? FVP Auto Parts work. Trusted, tested, selected. You know what works? FVP Stay Tuned works. Engine buildup doesn't stand a chance. FVP, reach for what works.
Splash, splash, apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. When your windshield's full of grime, bugs, dirt, and snow, just use a little splash and be safe on the road. Splash, 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 apply a little splash. splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. See safely on the road when you apply a little splash.
period number 2 on opening night for both of these teams, East Grand Forks and Orono. Scoreless after 1. Jeff Pappas with you tonight here on the Hub, and we are happy to have you along for a matchup that both of these teams are hoping reoccurs in March. East Grand Forks, of course, in the state third place game last year in Class A, and Orono 2 seasons removed from its state championship season. Looking at the schedule, Orono is right back on this ice tomorrow night against Alexandria, and then goes to play Monticello on the 26th before taking on the Minneapolis Novas here on the 30th. East Grand Forks, very much a road warriors type team. They have got 7 out of their first 8 games on the road. Not a lot of long trips, mind you, but still they're road games, and their only home game between now and the 17th of December is at home against St. Cloud Cathedral on the 30th. Tomorrow night they go to Delano. They continue their weekend away from home. We're underway in the second period. Teams attacking towards their benches. Scoreless contest. Puck out to neutral, and backing up for it is Simon in his zone, rink widing to the far side, and Shea Anderson tries to clear it. It's going to come back into the zone to the left. Jack Anderson behind the net to Shea Anderson, back to Jack, now on the near side. Cleared, and it's going to be held in on the backhanded side by Josh Nelson. As he heads for the bench, they'll change D on this side, and now Orono will break it out to center. It's going to be played past Osmus back deep into the East Grand Forks zone. It's an icing call. 46 seconds into the second period, and we'll drag it all the way back into the Orono zone to the right of Finn Grandy, who made 8 saves in the first period. Now from the face-off, it comes out to neutral ice. Turning it back, Logan Spencer there for East Grand, played back into the Orono zone. Grandy behind the net leaves it. Stevenson clears up the near side, looking for Brophy. Now a shot from the right point, a sneaky one by Spencer. And it's right onto the goaltender. Grandy makes the stop, and we'll get a face-off. To his left. Minute 4 gone in period number 2. The linesmen are like the Orono player Stevenson on that side to back out of the circle. That's the reason for the delay. And now played down with a glove by Schlenk for East Grand. Now tries to center from the wing boards. That doesn't get through. And then it's cleared past Spencer all the way back. And it's going to be another icing call against Orono. 1:18 gone in period number 2. Shots 9-5. East Grand Forks is at Delano on Saturday, then next Tuesday at Detroit Lakes. Then they have their lone home game and their first 8 against St. Cloud Cathedral. Then they're at Grand Forks Central, Grand Forks Red River, at Crookston, and at Alexandria. They're not all long trips, mind you, but again, they are games away from friendly ice. And it'll be a good test for this East Grand Forks team. Rink wided to center. And Parker knocks it into the zone. Backtracking forward is Clares. He clears, but not out. Now it does come to center. And Evan Peterson shoots it back in. Comes to the near side. And here's James. Takes it to the corner. And he and Beauchamp go into the near corner looking for it. Loose along the half wall. It's centered and now returned back to the near side. And East Grand Forks will clear it ahead. It's laid in by Emery. And he will head for the bench as they change. James behind the goal in the left corner for Orono. Gets it back. Now he sweeps one ahead. It's going to come out to center, and it's relayed back in by Beauchamp. And he will then head to the bench as they finish the change. Cleared on the near side. Outlet pass is stolen away by Parker. Looks centers from in deep, and it's going to come all the way through to the far side boards. Basil tried to clear, couldn't. Loosen the circle. And now the Spartans will get it to center. And now a heavy hit thrown. They're going to get our first penalty of the game. And it's going to go against East Grand Forks. Josh Nelson, I believe, will be the party adjudged guilty. That's going to be a power play. Oh, no, there is no power play, excuse me. The officials are talking about it here. They're trying to sort this out, and we do have an elbow that's being assessed. So, yes, my eyes did not deceive me. There was a penalty. And it's 22 heading to the penalty box for East Grand, which is Brody Schultz. And a minor penalty is on the board. So power play coming up for Orono, and East Grand Forks, his first opportunity on the penalty kill. Zach Simon, last season's leading scorer, is out there. And the puck comes to the right point, held in by Jack Anderson, who plays it down behind the net. Anderson not able to stop it along the near boards. And now it comes up the slot, laid back down behind the net. And after it is Josh Nelson. Now Anderson in the near corner tries to clear it out and can't. And we get a whistle, and we get a hand pass assessed. That's going to bring the faceoff all the way back in the Orono zone. Minute 37 remaining in the power play for Orono. 13:57 to go. Still looking for our first goal of the 2019-2020 season for these teams. And it'll be Cole Avery on for East Grand Forks for the faceoff against Simon. Puck down, and Simon wins that draw. Anderson behind the goal for Orono. Now tries the far side, and the Spartans will move it to center. Mose Messerly over the line. They'll go around behind the net, forced behind by Spencer, and now it's cleared. Grandy will set it up and leave it behind the net. Minute 10 to go in the power play. Down the near wing comes Simon over the East Grand Forks line. Poke checked away at the blue line, and we get a whistle. It's played back in offside, and we'll get a face-off at neutral ice. We're down to minute 5 to go in the power play. And another neutral zone face-off, so not bad so far for East Grand Forks. Tishu will face off against Landon Parker. Puck down, and Stevenson plays it into the East Grand Forks zone. And then falls, gets back up and scores! Hadley Stevenson off the wing boards. Snaps a power play goal. Home past Austin Cooley at 3:45, and Orono has the lead. It's a power play goal for Hadley Stevenson. So Orono draws first blood. And now East Grand Forks, for the first half of that power play, was a good penalty kill, but they weren't able to close the deal. And now here comes East Grand Forks back. Panzer, his shot goes wide. Now a centering pass loose at the left edge, and now crashing through there was Schlink. Now it comes to the right point. Nelson goes off skates and goes to the far side boards, played to center, and Anderson will play it back in, and we get the puck out of play into the East Grand Forks bench. Unassisted goal for Hadley Stevenson. 3:45 of the period. That's their 6th shot on goal and the first goal of the game. Clean face-off win, and here's Osmus throwing it in front, doesn't get it through, and now Orono comes back out to center, and here comes Rohrer over the line, overskated at the blue line, and East Grand Forks will claim possession, and they'll shoot it on in. Spencer rings the boards to the far side. Holm after it along the wall. Players falling there, and we get a whistle as Stevenson, I think that is the goal scorer, was trying to throw a body check. No, that might be Shea Anderson instead, 10. Hard to read those numbers from here, but he was trying to throw a check and missed and came into the boards hard. And it's slow to get up. And it is Shea Anderson. And he will go back to the bench and try and shake that off. Face-off coming up in the Orono zone to the right of Grandy. And the Green Wave trailing 1-0. Simon on for the face-off against Parker, who did not win the draw. Orono gets possession, and James plays it forward. It's going to go the length. No icing. And Cooley sets it up. Comes around to the near side, and East Grand Forks out of the corner. Try to play it ahead. They do angle one to center. James turns it back, but carrying on is Josh Nelson over the line. Check that, Schultz. Schultz goes in deep, backhanded centering pass, steered wide by Holm behind the goal, but Holm gets it back. Schultz centers, and a shot from a sharp angle by Parker. It's the outside of the net. Now Spencer at the right point. Knocked in against the wall, puck cleared behind the net. Jack Anderson in the right corner for Orono control. Long pass up the middle, tipped, and here comes Simon, 2-on-1. Throws it across, shot, score! And it's 2-0 Orono. And that's an example of where some good defense actually winds up hurting you. The pass was tipped by the defenseman right onto the stick of Simon, who started a 2-on-1 for Stevenson to finish. And it's now 2-0 for Orono. Time of this goal, 5 minutes and 27 seconds. So Orono has the first two. And they come in over the line, and it's knocked away. Cleared off to the far side boards, and East Grand Forks with some work to do, having surrendered 2 goals in the first 5.5 minutes here of period number 2. Brophy, rink wides to center. Evan Pedersen will pick it up for East Grand Forks. Tries to reverse it, can't get it out, but it came right back to him. Now he gave it up behind the net. Basil centers from a sharp angle, loose at the right edge. And Pullman behind the net. Orono smelling blood here in the water. Cleared to the far side. Penalty coming on Orono as Carson Schlenk was tripped to the ice, and East Grand Forks will go on the power play for the first time at 6 minutes and 7 seconds. It'll be a tripping penalty. And heading to the penalty box is Nolan Tichy. So I got our first look at East Grand Forks on the power play. And Cooper Holm is on with his draw for them against Zach Simon. Holm wins the draw, and East Grand Forks will set up its power play. And it's Walker instead of Stevenson, 21. Now here's a drive from the circle right on, and a save made by Finn Grandy. Walker from Simon and Anderson is the scorer of that goal. Two 2-0 Orono. Walker and Stevenson have scored the goals for them. East Grand Forks working its power play. Spencer feeds over to the left side to Osmus, back to Spencer. Near circle, and a one-timer by Parker goes off the defense wide. Now cleared all the way back in the East Grand Forks zone. First 30 gone on this power play. Spencer leaves it in the left corner. And now it comes down the near side, and it's played on into the zone by Pullman, who goes after it. Puts on the brakes in the corner, and he lets Nelson come through. Now back to Pullman along the half wall. Left point. Osmus, Spencer. Osmus shoots. Comes all the way through to the near side, and Parker will pick it up along the near boards. Spencer back to Parker, top of the circle, back to Spencer. One times a slap shot off the defense, and the rebound is picked up and cleared. Brecken shoots at the length of the ice, and then he heads for the bench as they change. And now, second half of the power play going for East Grand Forks, and they'll play it on into the zone. Panzer chasing after it. He goes in against Gus Hendrickson, loose at the right edge. East Grand Forks gets possession. Now a centering pass from deep is deflected and comes all the way back as Mose Messerly got a piece of that one. And now Spencer is hotly pursued behind the net. Spencer has to leave it behind the goal for Osmus. 25 on the power play, and here's Osmus to center. Angles to his left over the line, and it's offside. As in too early on the right was Nathaniel Emery, and we'll get a face-off with 19 seconds to go in the power play. 9:12 left in the second period. Orono on top 2-0. Goals for Stevenson and Walker. They've had 2 shots on goal, Orono has, in the second period, and both have gone in. 17 to go on the power play, and now the puck is cleared all the way back into the East Grand Forks zone, and Cooley will set it up behind the goal. Nelson comes out the right side, rink wide to the left, and now with 5 seconds to go on the power play, Emery over the line. Emery takes it in deep, looks to backhand. He tried to center it. That's blocked by Brophy, and then he falls in hard against the boards. As Orono comes back to full strength, they've killed off the penalty. And the Spartans control down the near wing they come. Here's James over the line. Tried to shoot through a screen, and Anderson steered it wide of the goal. Behind the net, Brandon Anderson on the near side for Emery. Loose along the boards, and Emery will control. Near side it comes to Nelson, and here they come. East Grand Forks, Nelson over the line to the left. They're changing. Nelson waiting for help, plays it back behind the net, and then heads to the benches. They'll change. Avery tried to clear it out, couldn't. Avery then goes after it and gains possession at the point. Flipped ahead and played down at center and played back in. It's offside. As Cole Chupka, number 7, brought the puck in offside. We'll get a face-off past the halfway mark in regulation time. 8:11 to go in the second period. Finn Grandy had 5 shutouts last season in goal for Orono. Working on another one, and now they're getting a late change denied despite being the home team here. The referee had already indicated no more and was having none of it. Now Simon has been dismissed from the face-off as penance, and now it's picked up by Pedersen over to the left side, and it's shot in off the defense. It's going to come off the end wall, and Shea Anderson clears to the far side, doing better now, good for that. Now here's a shot, as this is his first shift since going off injured, and now Pedersen takes a shot and a stick save by Grandy behind the net. Now picked up by Shea Anderson in the left corner. He'll flip it high. It's going to go all the way down the ice. That'll be icing on Orono. 7:46 to go in the second period, and we'll go all the way back. Grandy's made 11 stops. He had a 91% save percentage in the regular season last year to go along with 9 wins and a 1.91 goals against average. Face-off is coming. And now on the left side, it's controlled by Anderson. Jack Anderson lost it. Parker picks it up. Feeds the right point. Spencer shoots. It's deflected, and the rebound by Holm is steered to the far corner. Now Parker tried to spin and shoot, gets it back, and then threw it in front for Holm and didn't get there. Comes to center, and Nelson rink-wides it back into the Orono zone. Shea Anderson to the far side, and now played to center past Rohrer. It'll come all the way back in the East Grand Forks zone to the left of the goal. And Cooley sets it up there in the corner. They're having trouble with it. And now Nelson will retreat behind his net. Just over 7 minutes to go in period number 2. Nelson clears to the far side. Osmus can't clear it out. Loose along the boards. Now Osmus in the left corner has control. Osmus, saucer pass to center. It's going to come into the zone to the right. Schultz chasing it down. Schultz drops it back. Looking for Parker. Couldn't get it to him. And now Josh Nelson at center plays it back to the blue line. Parker looking for it on the line. And now it's cleared to the far side boards, and it's picked up by Basil. And now loose at the Orono line, carried in. And the Green Wave looking for a chance as Schlenk Had to come off the end of his stick. Now Anderson's shot blocked before it got through. Cleared rink wide back into the Orono zone to the left, and Stevenson, scorer of the first goal, plays over to the far side boards. And Basil back to Stevenson. Cleared around on the near side for Cooper Clares in the corner. Plays it ahead, and it gets past the defenseman. Pettersson, who's in a foot race now all of a sudden. And it's played back in by Mose Messerly. Lost it behind the net, carrying on Basil. And he's got it in the near corner, looks to center it, loose at the right edge, and a shot is deflected to the right point. Held in by Tichy, and he takes a shot, and a glove catch by Cooley. Face-off coming up in the East Grand Forks zone. Check that, it was Brophy instead of Tichy taking that shot from the point, the defenseman on that side. And a face-off coming up with 5:58 left. On the power play, Walker at 5:27. And it's a 2-0 contest. Puck down. And it's Osmus in the left corner. There's a shot from the right point that's deflected and steered to the near boards. Under 6 minutes to play in period number 2. Back behind the net. East Grand Forks clears it ahead. But not able to clear. Now they do get it, and here they come down the near side. It's played ahead. Here's Avery. And then he overskated. Puck picked up by Spencer. Carrying on now. Oh, and a big shot thrown in the right corner there, and slow to get to the bench. Orono, I believe that was Simon, but it was a big hit thrown. It's Spencer in the left corner. And now cleared back. Jack Anderson plays to center. Poke checked at the line before Rohrer can get to it. Under 5 minutes to go in the second period. Here's Osmus in the right corner for East Grand Forks. Played ahead, and now here come the Green Wave down the near side. Cole Avery over the line. Stops, looks to center it. It comes up the slot, and it's controlled by Nelson, closing in, and a save by Grandy, who stayed with him. From the right boards, a shot by Panzer goes wide. Now Nelson at the circle. He takes a shot, was headed wide, and Grandy gets the stoppage anyway with 4:28 to go in period number 2. But an opportunity there for Nelson, and Grandy stayed with that, left the leg trailing, and he made the pad save at the right post covered, and we'll get a face-off to his left. Parker on the draw. And now picked up by Avery, who goes down. Check that, Hadley Stevenson cleared up the middle, the center, and loose at neutral ice. It's played on into the zone by Basil, and now it'll come to the left side. Beauchamp tried to play around on the near side boards, and now cleared to the right point, held in by Brophy. And now cleared down to the far circle. James after it. He lost possession. He tried to cycle out of the corner. 4 minutes to go. Over skating it there is Schmedberg. And now loose at center. And picked up by Landon Parker. Here he comes over the line. Lost it to Stevenson, but East Grand Forks will retain possession. Comes to the right point, and Evan Pettersson unable to shoot. Here's a 3-on-1 if they hurry. Over the line comes Mose Messerly to the right side. Back to him, and a shot, and post to post. Cooley with a save. And now cleared to the near side boards, and they set that up beautifully. But Austin Cooley went post to post and took it away from Mose Messerly. Back comes East Grand Forks in. Pullman had a bouncing puck and couldn't get a shot away. Now cleared back into the East Grand Forks zone to the left, and it's not going to go far enough for icing. Beauchamp will have it. Clears up the near side. 3:16 to go, and now Beauchamp having trouble. Behind the net, loose at the right side, and the Green Wave will pick it up and carry to center. Best chance of the night for East Grand Forks, I'm pretty sure, is Nelson and Schlenk battle for the puck. Jack Anderson feeds to the far side. Shea Anderson to center, carrying on Walker. The second goal scorer for Orono has the puck on the far side. And he'll play it back into the East Grand Forks zone. Nelson behind the net, plays to the near side. Osmus after it there, flips it high. And it's bouncing there on Jack Anderson, and East Grand Forks will keep possession. Trying to feed the point. It gets past Josh Nelson. It comes out to center. And here comes Simon down the near wing. Simon closes in. He shoots, and he might have caught the outside of the post with that one. And the faceoff is going to be called outside. with 2:32 to go. No, it's not. It's going to be called to his right, so it must have, it did catch part of the post and went out of play. Shots 13-9 for East Grand Forks. They've had 5 in the second period. Orono was at 4, but scored twice. Now here's Spencer, clearing it back into the Orono zone, and here's a foot race for it. Panzer unable to get to it. Now loose at the red line, and a pass across is stolen away. Here comes Basil looking to center it, and it comes to the left edge. And Cooley is able to get the glove on it before Mose Messerly could take a poke. A face-off coming up with 2 minutes and 13 seconds to play in the second period. Orono 2, East Grand Forks nothing. Opening week for boys high school hockey. The girls have been at it for a couple of weeks now. Big games coming up this weekend as well. Now East Grand Forks has a centerman tossed, and Avery will take this draw with 2:13 left in the second period. Comes to the far side. And it's picked up there by Parker, and he is shouldered to the ice hard. It's starting to pick up physically here, and now here comes East Grand Forks over the line. Brophy clears to the near side. Tichy lost it at center, and then it's played back in by, back to the blue line, I should say, by Caleb Schmiedeberg. Under 2 minutes to go. Osmus over the line. He'll go back behind the net for it. He's looking there for Avery. Now Emery tries to center it, and Orono having none of that. It's cleared rink wide back into the East Grand Forks zone. Brandon Anderson backhands it right into a line change. And here's a breakaway for East Grand Forks, going in a backhanded shot over the top of the goal by Holm. And now loose in the circle. Holm has it back. Holm shoots, and a save made by Grandy. They got caught on a change. This is the period, of course, where you attack towards your benches, so you better be sure you have somebody back when you're changing, and Orono didn't, and it almost burned them. Now it's played right in front of the Orono bench to neutral ice, picked up by Tichy, and he is shouldered off by Nelson. Here's Cooper Holm laying it to the near side, and now Emery over the line. 50 seconds to go in the period. Emery plays it towards the front of the net, and it comes on to Grandy, who gets a stoppage. 47 seconds to go in the second period. Shots are 14-10 for East Grand Forks, which means 6-5 here in the second period. Tight checking, but 2 goals for Orono in this second period, and they have got their noses in front. Puck comes towards the right point. Spencer trying to hold it in on the line. And it comes to center ice, and the Green Wave will control. Fed over to Parker on the far side, and he can't play it in with 30 seconds to go in the period. Parker tries to come out, and Pullman having trouble along the boards trying to free it up. Now they do with 20 seconds to go. Here's Spencer. Up the near side for Panzer. Tips it into the zone, and now it's played rink wide. And here comes Rohrer over the line. He's got a player breaking for the slot. Mose Messerly. And he couldn't connect with the centering pass. Here's Panzer with 6 seconds to go. Plays it out to neutral ice. Stevenson will turn and play it back in. And that'll do it for the second period as Panzer brought the puck in at the buzzer. And after 2 periods, it is Orono 2, East Grand Forks nothing. Power play goal for Stevenson at 3:45, and Walker scoring the second goal at 5:27, and that is where we stand after 2 periods of play. Shots on goal in that period favored East Grand Forks 6-5 for the game, 14-10. We'll take a break and come back with our third period right after this. You're enjoying high school hockey on the Youth Hockey Hub.
Splash, apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. When your windshield's full of grime, bugs, dirt, and snow, just use a little splash and be safe on the road. Splash, 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 apply a little splash. When your windshield's getting dirty, just apply a little splash. See safely on the road when you apply a little splash.
Works. FVP Auto Parts work. Trusted, tested, selected. You know what works. FVP Stay Tuned works. Engine buildup doesn't stand a chance. FVP. Reach for what works. You know what?
Back in Orono as we get ready for the third period. Jeff Pappas with you tonight on Youth Hockey Hub. Shots on goal are 14-10 for East Grand Forks, but the score is 2-0 for Orono. Goals by Hadley Stevenson and Bradley Walker in that second period have staked them to a 2-0 lead. We're brought to you by FVP, who has a dominating lineup. Reach for what works with FVP oil, antifreeze, stay tuned, batteries, and more. Visit your local automotive shop or retailer for FVP products. And we're brought to you by the Splash Ice Melt Shaker Bag. Simply tear open and shake on surfaces where safety really matters. All right, ready to get the third period underway. Austin Cooley for East Grand Forks in the goal to our right. And Finn Grandy for Orono in the goal to our left. Goals coming less than 2 minutes apart in the second period by Hadley Stevenson and Bradley Walker, but East Grand Forks with some work to do here in the third period. They found a route to goal difficult. They can't get the centerman squared away for the draw. Now they do, and finally the third period commences. Jack Anderson plays it into the zone, and Orono gets possession but loses it right away. And here is Josh Nelson. Pass to the left. Parker shoots. And it was blocked before it got through to Grandy. Down the near side comes Orono. Rohrer over the line. He is in a physical battle. Puck comes to the circle and bounces. Now it's loose at the right edge and goes past Nelson to the right corner. Backhands it ahead to Jackson Panzer, and now here comes Parker. Headman pass on the left for Pullman over the line. Leaves a drop. Parker closes in. He shoots and he missed the net. Comes to the right point and caroms on out to center. Brandon Anderson for East Grand back in the center circle. Parker wasn't looking for it. Now it's poke check back and carrying on is Brophy. Out of the near side, he lost it at the blue line, and here comes Parker back. Pass to the right and over the line. Here's a slap shot that caught high. The goaltender there, Avery, took the shot, and Grandy took it on the blocker pad, knocked it straight up in the air, and then got the stoppage. Exactly 1 minute gone in the third period. A Orono band here tonight, entertaining us between periods, and now making its departure from the arena. Now here comes Orono back down the far side, and this is Tichy trying to make something happen. Loose along the far wall. Going to the boards there, Spencer playing without a stick. Now played ahead to the near side, and Schlenk can't get out. Comes to the right point, and now does come back to neutral. Brophy for Orono plays it ahead, and it's relayed into the zone by Basil. Now back behind the net in the left corner, Osmus to Schlenk. Tries to clear it up and can't. Now it's stolen away. Simon centers it, and all kinds of time there, and Austin Cooley came out to make the stop. Gus Hendrickson there making something happen for Orono. Josh Nelson in the left corner. Cleared to the right point, held in by Shea Anderson. And he's pinned to the boards. Puck played behind the net. Osmus after it for East Grand, and then he is shouldered in against the boards, picked up by Gus Hendrickson behind the net. Spins, centers, it comes through to the far side. Claire's after it. He takes a bump from Osmus and plays it behind the net. Josh Nelson to the near side. Schlenk plays it ahead. Home to center. Avery over the line, 1 against 4. And here comes Simon back down the far side. He had his pocket picked by Schmedeberg. And now played into the zone. Check that, it was Parker. And now loose at neutral ice, picked up by Garrett Beauchamp, and he plays it on into the Orono zone. Shea Anderson back behind the net. 2:45 gone in the third. Puck comes to center. Brandon Anderson steps up, now plays it ahead, and here comes Panzer over the line. In the circle, he shoots, and a save made by Grandy. Puck cleared to the left point, and Brandon Anderson holds it in. His shot deflected wide, rings the dasher boards, and comes down. Brecken on the far wall. He'll leave it behind the net for Shea Anderson. Behind the net, out the near side comes Orono. Through center, Simon lays it ahead, but it's too far, and they wave off icing. Beauchamp back for it. Now a centering pass, picked off, and a shot goes just wide of the goal by Jack Anderson as he was teed up in front about 30 feet out. And now Brophy cleans it up for Orono. Played to center. It's going to come back on the wrong side of Beauchamp all the way back, and they wave off icing again. Here's Osmus behind the net. Swings to an open side, and the puck comes on out to center where Brophy will relay it right back in. Osmus behind the goal for East Grand Forks. Fed to the far side for Beauchamp, and he can't get out. Loose along the wall. Beauchamp again will retreat to the right corner, but he's in check there from Shea Anderson. And Orono controls it. Brecken from a sharp angle tried to center, blocked by the other number 20, Osmus. And now Osmus, the D1 commit for North Dakota, plays it out to center. And Basil relays it right back in for Orono. Osmus in the left corner, rink wides to center, nice pass, and they break out 3-on-3. Over the line, played ahead by Emery in deep. And now the puck comes around to the near side. Osmus is after it. Loose along the near boards. Players from both teams after it. Now fed to the right point and prelayed on out to center. Rink wide, Tichy plays it back into the East Grand Forks zone. Osmus behind the net. To the far side. Spencer takes a shot, deflected. They're having a hard time getting shots through onto Finn Grandy. They have more shots than Orono, 16-12, but really not a whole lot of what you'd call grade A chances. Now cleared to center and played back by Brandon Anderson into the zone. It comes on to Grandy. Keeps the stick on the ice. Now a steal, centering pass from behind the net by Holm, looking to try and find Carson Schlenk in front, and the goaltender has it pinned at the right goalpost. 11:50 to go. 16-12 in shots. Each team has had 2 here in the third period. Shots number 6 and 7 were the ones for Orono. Consecutive shots that are the only goals of this game, and now Orono controls from the faceoff. Poke check by Brandon Anderson, slows up the rush. And there's a hit thrown by Josh Nelson in the right corner, comes to the near side, and Schlenk for East Grand backhands it ahead, survives the hit, and then plays it back in rink wide. Nelson in the right corner for East Grand Forks. Anderson in the left corner. Schlenk lays it ahead, and here's Holm down the near side. Nice pass to the right for Avery over the line, but the defenseman there forced the play wide. And East Grand Forks trying to control it. They tried to set up Osmus, but now in deep, a shot right on, and a save by Grandy as Cole Avery picked up a loose puck and went in from the right edge. And Grandy made the stop. We'll get a face-off to his right. That's a better chance for East Grand Forks. Not only do they need more of them, they're going to need 2 of them at least to go in as they trail it by 2 here in the third. Parker on the faceoff as he falls, backhands it in front, loose, and a backhanded shot by Pullman goes wide. Cleared now to the near side boards. Orono dodging a bullet there, and here comes Mose Messerly over the line. He takes a shot and a glove catch by Cooley. Faceoff in the East Grand Forks zone. That burned a few seconds. 10:53 now to go. Again, both of these teams are in action tomorrow night. East Grand Forks is at Delano tomorrow night, and Orono will host Alexandria here on this site. That's a 2 o'clock game tomorrow. There's a shot from traffic by Shea Anderson. Hit his teammate on the ice, Clares, and now the puck picked up at center. Here comes East Grand Forks. Landon Parker to Panzer, and he fanned on it along the boards. Panzer goes after the puck. Loose to the right point, and East Grand Forks having a hard time putting any sort of sustained pressure on. And now Logan Spencer shoulders a man to the boards. It's deflected past Clares. Now here comes East Grand Forks. They're going to break out 3 wide. And Osmus skates over the line, angling to the right. Osmus goes to the backhand. Puts on the brakes in the corner. Then a nice pass up to the high slot area. Nelson closes in. A shot and a save by Grandy, and a face-off coming up. And stares exchanged across the front of the Orono goal. We'll get a face-off in the Spartan zone. Finn Grandy has stopped all 18 that he's seen so far tonight. Puck down. And Orono controls along the near boards. Beauchamp rink wides it right back towards the Orono zone. Now Panzer will play it in. Chasing after it, Brody Schultz behind the goal. But he'll lose the foot race. And it comes out to center. Nelson backhands it ahead as he takes the hit, lost the puck. Here comes Simon over the line. He shoots us through a screen and a save made there by Cooley. It was a good play by Simon to set up the shot and a nice save by Cooley to stay with it. Now the puck comes to center. And played now into the East Grand Forks zone to the left. Nelson chasing after it along with Simon. Swept the puck to the board. Simon has no help as Orono is changing. And now the Green Wave will play to the far side and they'll carry it over the line. 9:11 to go. Centering pass for Holm. Closes in over skates. And a follow-up shot. And that caught crossbar as Beauchamp followed up and with a real nice chance. Was not able to find the frame, and we'll get a face-off in the Orono zone to the right of Finn Grandy. 9:04 to play. Home on the draw. Now swept to the far side boards, and Jack Anderson after it for Orono. Plays it ahead to center. Mose Messerly played into the zone, and Osmus plays it ahead, and now here comes Jackson Panzer ahead to Holm. He's got Schlenk on his left over the line, and it's played back behind the Orono goal. Holm. Now Schlenk comes in to help out in the corner, but they're a step slow, and Orono is able to play it out to center. Tipped down by Osmus in the center circle, a backhand it in, and chase after it. Grandy leaves it at the left edge, past the halfway point in the third period. It's 2-0 Orono. Now here's a shot from the circle by Pullman that didn't get through. Now a centering pass. Here's a chance and a goal for East Grand Forks. Trey Osmus out of the corner makes it 2-1 at 8:53, and we got a game. Trey Osmus for East Grand Forks, the first goal of the game for the Green Wave. Time of the goal, 8 minutes and 53 seconds, and it is 2-1. And that was one that they need. Can Orono hold off the second? Comes to the boards, Parker unable to control it. Brandon Anderson is in, and now it's played into the East Grand Forks zone. Parker chasing. 7:55 to play in the third period. Now they steal it. Parker spins, tries to shoot, didn't get through. Get the scoring on the goal. And Pullman is being given the assist. So Osmus at 8:53, and now right on the blue line. East Grand Forks keeps the pressure on. Brandon Anderson, that's loose in front and steered now to the far side, and Simon will chase after it. Down the far wing for Orono. Simon ridden off. There's a shot and a toe save by Cooley through traffic. Puck comes to center. Now Anderson throws a hit, and Josh Nelson leaves it in the left corner for Anderson. 7:10 to play in the third. 2-1 Orono here on opening night for both of these teams. Josh Nelson in the right corner banks it behind the net for Anderson. And up the near side, Brandon Anderson plays it ahead, and now hit thrown, and here comes East Grand Forks. Emery in the circle, looks to center it. It's going to come up the slot, and here's a shot that's deflected wide. Osmus looking for a second goal. Comes to the near side, and it's picked up at center on Schultz. Tried to backhand it ahead and couldn't. It's played back in by Jack Anderson. To the far side, Osmus there. 6.5 to go in the third. Here's Schultz playing it ahead. Relayed back in at center from Shea Anderson. Osmus in the right corner. Flips towards the point. They can't clear. It goes back behind the net. And Spencer to the far side. Osmus again. Banks it off the wall to Emery. Played to center, and here's Schultz overskating, and picking it up for Orono is Jack Anderson. He shoots from a sharp angle on a glove catch by Cooley. We'll get a face-off in the East Grand Forks zone. We're down to 6:06 to go in the third period. Stevenson and Walker for Orono. Osmus for East Grand in the third period. Shots are 19-16, so Orono has 6 shots in the third period, more than they had in either of the first 2. The only goal scored by the Green Wave, and now to the far side they come out to center. They have 2-on-2 of the trailer. Parker on his backhand, comes in, and a save made. Puck comes up the slot. Here's a drive right on. Save made by Grandy. And now Orono down the far side. Clares plays it ahead. He's trapped offside, and he's got to tag up. Now they do tag up, and East Grand Forks behind the goal. Nelson controls, banks it ahead. And here they come. Again, 2-on-2 of the trailer. Over the line, Schlenk, and he is ridden off. Holm on the near side, trying to win the puck. And it's going to be played around on the far side. It's too far for Tichy. It's going to come all the way back in the East Grand Forks zone to the right, and that will be icing on Orono with 5:16 to play in the third period. Shots are even at 6 in the third. After the game, the FVP most valuable player. Could be a number of them tonight. Low scoring game. Both goaltenders have played pretty well here in this one. And now the puck comes to the right point, and it hops Pullman's stick, and he has to come out for it. Now rink wided towards the near side. Pullman after it. And it's cleared to Osmus. Into the center circle, and Parker can't spin. Now here's Pullman, too far for Parker. That's intercepted by Hendrickson. Banks it ahead, stepping up Osmus, and he rink wides it back in with under 5 minutes to play. Hanser goes after it in the right corner. And now behind the net, Shea Anderson controlling for Orono. Backhands to the near boards. Try to break out up the boards and not tempt fate on a middle breakout. Comes to the near boards again, and we're going to get a whistle and a stoppage with 4:22 to go. It's hard to see what's going on down there. Of course, as you can see, the Orono students standing in front of the boards on that side, and it's frankly impossible for me to see what's going on from the blue line into the corner on that side. So Holm will face off for East Grand Forks against Stevenson, and from the draw, it comes up the slot. Brandon Anderson shoots, deflected over the top of the cage, comes to the half wall on the far side, and now behind the net, Orono able to get possession. 4:08 to play. Here's a shot from the point by Anderson that's through a screen, and a save made by Grandy. And now here comes Mose Messerly. They've got a 2-on-1 if they hurry. Mose Messerly over the line, saucer pass, hops Basil's stick. And it comes to the near boards. Hustling all the way back for East Grand was Cole Avery to try and get in the way. He was a step slow, but the pass didn't connect. 3:40 to go. Orono holding a 2-1 advantage. There's a 5-car pileup in the near corner as the referee would like him to move it, and finally gives up hope, and we'll get a face-off with 3:31 left. Both teams change lines, and it's going to be timeout territory fairly soon here. East Grand Forks has pulled 1 goal back through Osmus at 8:53, but now the face-off is being signaled outside. So it'll be Zach Simon facing off against Landon Parker, and it's pulled back into the Orono zone. Shea Anderson back for it. Now rink widened out to center, and Spencer played back into the Orono zone. And the Spartans are going to close this one out. Come to center. Here's Shea Anderson from the red line, and he plays it in. It rings the boards to the far side, and Spencer goes after it along the wall. Bumped there by Hendrickson. Puck comes out. Here's 2-on-2. Here's Landon Parker. Defender getting back though. Parker lost possession and Hendrickson rings the boards with it to the near side. A centering pass. Oh, and a sneaky shot by Osmus. Goes off sticks in front. Now here's a drive from the right point. Didn't get through. Follow up, they score! East Grand Forks has tied the game with 2:45 to play. And it's Landon Parker scoring the goal that ties the score with 2:45 left. So East Grand Forks comes back. Landon Parker scoring at 14 minutes and 15 seconds to tie the game at 2. So Orono scores the first 2 and East Grand Forks scores the last 2. Now it comes in front and it's controlled by Schlenk for East Grand Forks. At the red line, he'll shoot it on into the Orono zone. Chasing after it is Shea Anderson. So Parker with a goal. Spencer and Pullman get assists. Now played into the East Grand Forks zone. 2:13 to go, and the Green Wave come out to center with it. Brophy feeds the left for Orono. Holm breaks it up in the center circle, and a big shot thrown there. And slow to get up was Hadley Stevenson. Now here comes Brophy over the line, where Angels fear to tread now. Under 2 minutes to play in regulation time, and the bodies are flying. Played right through a line change, all the way back into the Orono zone to the left. Pullman is after it for East Grand Forks. He goes in against the boards with Gus Hendrickson. Puck squirts out, now fed to the far side, and the Spartans bring it out with 90 seconds to go. They'll play it into the zone, half a step. Simon closing in, a shot and a save by Cooley. They knocked it over the glass and out of play. Good stuff there from Orono. Simon showing some good escapability, and of course he had the big season last year. Timeout coming for East Grand Forks with 1:31 to go in regulation. Let's take a break while the players take a break. 2-2 the score. Back with more right after this.
FVP Auto Parts work. Trusted, tested, selected. You know what works. FVP Stay Tuned works. Engine buildup doesn't stand a chance. FVP, reach for what works.
Apply a little splash when your windshield's getting dirty. Just apply a little splash when your windshield's full of grime, bugs, dirt, and snow. Just use a little splash and be safe on the road. Splash, splash, splash. Apply a little splash when your windshield's getting dirty. Just apply a little splash. See safely on the road when you apply a little splash.
Back in Orono, Jeff Pappas with you with a call on opening night for both of these teams. 2-2 in the third period. Stevenson and Walker for Orono, Osmus and Parker for East Grand Forks. Landon Parker just scoring the goal at the 14-15 mark. East Grand Forks is just taking his time out, so we'll get a face-off to the right of their goaltender, Austin Cooley, who has made 14 saves. Finn Grandy has stopped 19 of 21 for the Spartans. Parker will draw against Simon, the two number 1 centers. A win for Simon, but the Green Wave come up with a puck, and here's Pullman. Over the line, Pullman centers it, and it's loose in front. Pullman took it right to the net and then couldn't get a shot away. Back into the East Grand Forks zone, Spencer back for it. Clear to the near side, and Pullman had it hop his stick, but it's carrying on. Parker, backhanded centering pass, and a one-timer caught the bar. Panzer whistled one, and it goes wide. Now Panzer at the right point, feeds it over to the left. Here's Osmus, last minute of play. And the puck fed to the near side, and Gus Hendrickson in the near corner for Orono trying to get possession. East Grand Forks buzzing, but now here comes Simon down the near wing. 1 against 2. Simon cuts to the slot and lays it across. There's a shot and a save by Cooley. And back comes East Grand Forks down the near wing. Good stuff. Pullman over the line. He shoots. He missed the net wide to the goaltender's right. 34 seconds to go in regulation. Now cleared up the near wall. And controlled by Osmus for East Grand Forks with 25 seconds to go. Played into the Orono zone. No icing. Brophy clears around on the near side. Sidesteps a hit. Puck comes to center. Mose Messerly can't control it. Beauchamp cleared it, but only as far as Mose Messerly. 12 seconds to play in regulation, and Nelson dipsy doodling there in the near corner, plays it out to neutral ice. Stevenson backing up with 5 seconds to go, plays it ahead, and Schlenk plays it down, and that's a hand pass. They're going to come all the way back with 2.4 seconds to play for a face-off in the East Grand Forks zone. So a defensive zone face-off with 2 seconds left. Face-off coming up to the left of Austin Cooley. And now we're going to get a timeout taken by Orono. And the question now is, do you pull Grandy with 2 seconds to play to get a sixth skater out there? It's unlikely that the puck's going to wind up in your net. And we'll see if they do bring a sixth skater out there. They have the opportunity to do so. There'll be a brief timeout in the event of overtime. The teams will get a couple of minutes to collect themselves before we come back for a fourth period. Shots in the third. 8 for East Grand Forks. 7 for Orono. They've been outshot in every period so far. But they have the tie game, 2-2, and a faceoff coming up. The goaltender will stay in. So Orono will put Mose Messerly out for the faceoff against Parker. Puck is down. Parker wins the draw, and we've got overtime. After 3, we are level at 2 apiece. We will take a timeout and come back with the overtime next, heading for bonus hockey here on the Youth Hockey Hub.
Works. FVP Auto Parts work. Trusted, tested, selected. You know what works. FVP Stay Tuned works. Engine buildup doesn't stand a chance. FVP, reach for what works. You know what?
Apply a little splash when your windshield's getting dirty. Just apply a little splash when your windshield's full of grime, bugs, dirt, and snow. Just use a little splash and be safe on the road. Splash, splash, splash. Apply a little splash when your windshield's getting dirty. Just apply a little splash. See safely on the road when you apply a little splash.
They're back in Orono. 2-2 heading to overtime. The junior varsity went overtime as well, and they couldn't decide a winner either. So we'll see if we can get one in the varsity game. Teams change ends again and will attack toward their benches as they did in the second period, which was when Orono scored both its goals in the second. Shots are 22-17. Penalty box is empty. There have only been 2 penalties all night, 1 minor against each team. Orono scored on its power play, and East Grand Forks did not score on its power play. 8 minutes on the board to decide it or not. And we are underway here in overtime here from Orono. This is Landon Parker, rink widening it ahead into the Orono zone. Parker controls in the circle, lays it across. Here's a shot that goes off the traffic by Osmus. Now Osmus again with a shot, and a glove catch by Grandy. The face-off coming up in the Orono zone, so the first shot on goal of the overtime goes to the visitors. Osmus and Parker, so much happens when they're on the ice, and I guess I'll get the lion's share of the playing time here in the overtime as well. Cooper Holm, though, on for this draw against Simon, and now cleared behind the net. It's controlled by Gus Hendrickson. To center. Walker, who has a goal tonight, tried to cut in, and he was ridden off by Spencer. Now controlled by Osmus behind the net. Plays it ahead. Schlink tips it out to center and then races after it. Backhanding it ahead. Shea Anderson now in the center circle. Here's Simon over the line. He puts on a move. Simon closes in. He shoots, and a save made by Cooley. Comes to the left corner, and East Grand Forks in control. They'll flip one high to center. Trying to chase it down is Avery, and he just can't get there. It's icing against East Grand Forks, and we'll go all the way back. 54 seconds gone in overtime. Face-off coming up. To the right of Austin Cooley. Puck down. And Beauchamp behind the net for East Grand Forks. Tries the far side. And now they do get it out to center. Shot into the zone past Panzer, who chases after it, but getting there first is Hadley Stevenson behind the goal. Scored the first goal of this game on the power play back in the second period. Now Beauchamp will rink wide it back into the Orono zone. Brophy in the left corner, lost it. Here's a drive, deflected. Good chance for Nelson, and now back comes Orono through the middle. Mose Messerly unable to connect with a pass, and now here's Brophy back in his zone. Rink wides to center, knocked out of the air by Basil, who plays it ahead, and East Grand Forks controls. 6:26 to go in the extra session. Now played into the zone, and back out to center. Played back in by Parker. And now Orono in the left corner with 6:15 to go in the overtime. Plays it ahead to center. Tichy can't control it. And it's backhanded back into the zone by Josh Nelson. It comes to the left of the goal, and Grandy will get a stoppage. 1:54 gone in overtime. East Grand Forks has outshot Orono in every period and in the overtime, 2-1. But both goaltenders standing tall, and it's 2-2. Emery will face off against Simon as the 15s do battle. And here's Spencer. He takes a shot, and I don't know how. Now that's underneath him. That's what happened. It didn't get through. We'll get a face-off in the Orono zone. And East Grand Forks will change, and now they want Parker's line out there against Simon, and Orono with the last change opts to stay with their first unit. Now it comes to Spencer at the right point, plays it down in the circle. A centering pass doesn't get through, and now loose at the right edge. It's controlled by Poolman. Left point, here's a drive and a save by Grandy on Osmus. 5:46 to go. Play behind the Orono net, banked off the boards to Spencer. One-timer and a save made by Grandy off to the left boards, and there's a chance for Osmus, and he missed the frame. Now here comes Orono back, a pass through center, can't connect with Simon to the left of the goal. He and Osmus go after it, and Osmus shouldered him away, Now the puck picked up by East Grand Forks, and here they come. Down the near wing, it's Panzer over the line. He stopped, and he goes down at the blue line. East Grand Forks fans want a penalty. So they could have had one both ways here in this overtime in the last 30 seconds, and the referees have swallowed their whistles. 5 minutes to play in the extra session. They're letting the players decide it. And now here's Avery trying to come in front. He centers it, and Holm was tied up before he could shoot. Now here's Orono playing it through center. Turning back is Schlenk, and it's played back into the zone. It's offside. It will get a face-off. 4:53 to go in the extra session. Shots are 26-18 for East Grand Forks in this game. Holm will face off for them against Nick Mose-Messerly. Now it's played back past the Orono defender, Stevenson, on that side. He goes back behind his net for it. Stevenson puts on the brakes. His shot hit the referee as he tried to clear it. Backhanded shot and a save made. And Avery was the beneficiary of some good luck there. Clearing attempt hit the referee, and a shot and a save by Grandy from the left point on Garrett Beauchamp, and we'll get a face-off in the Orono zone. 5 shots in the overtime in the first 3.5 minutes. East Grand Forks getting stronger as the game goes on. They enter the third period trailing 2-0. They got both goals in the third and have had the better of the overtime so far. It's in skates from the face-off, the centerman Fall, and now Spartans try to clear. It's picked up along the far wall by Parker, and he's tied up. Pullman tries to help, and now they'll come out of the corner. Pullman shoots! Oh my goodness! And it was off Grandy, and it's going to be, it was off Grandy and into the netting. It went off his arm, and it was not on the blocker pad side, it was on the glove side. And they deflected it into the netting to get a stoppage with 4:18 to go, and East Grand Forks will get an offensive zone faceoff. And they can't get the wings on the far side squared away. And Simon has been dismissed. And Grand Forks lost the draw, but the puck shot the length of the ice by the Spartans, and it will not go far enough. They wave off the icing. And Stevenson trying to hold it in and can't. Now a shot the length of the ice comes right on to Grandy. So there's no icing, and now here's Brophy in the right corner. The plays it ahead. That will go the length, and that will be icing on Orono with 3:56 left. We pass the halfway point of overtime in a 2-2 contest. And back into the zone they go. 6 shots in the extra session to 1 for Orono. East Grand Forks has had a good overtime here. Play it over to the left boards, and Brody Schultz, third line, getting a shift now for East Grand Forks. Now played to center, and now knocked off the puck was Osmus and played back into the zone. Collision there. And now a pass through Simon's skates, comes all the way back in the East Grand Forks zone, but Orono will get there first. They'll come out of the corner, a centering pass, loose in the slot, comes to the far side, and Spencer for East Grand Forks backhands it ahead as he falls. And now chasing after it, Cooper Holm. He lost out, and the Spartans clear to the far side. It goes past Osmus all the way back in the zone. Osmus being pursued by Tichy. Now cleared behind the goal, and Nelson has it with 3:04 to go. Nelson had a crack in the boards, and now it's stolen away. They tried to find Tichy in front and couldn't get it to him. Here's Nelson along the left wall. He overskated, and it's controlled by Basil in the corner. He's got Tichy in front, and a pass tipped between the point men and back into the Orono side of neutral ice. Hadley Stevenson turns and plays it back into the East Grand Forks zone. That'll be icing with 2:41 to go. A little bit of everything here. We've had pucks go off officials. We've had pucks go off cracks in the boards. We've had a little bit of everything. And we'll get a face-off in the Orono zone. Parker and Simon, we've seen that many times tonight. It's in skates. Parker wins the draw. Nelson tried to play it ahead, stolen away. Pullman looking to shoot. It was a weak effort, and now Brophy in the right corner. Lost possession. Green Wave tried to come in front. Now here's Beauchamp from the left point. His shot hit the traffic, and now it's picked up by Brophy, and here they come with 2:19 to go. Played into the zone to the left of the goal, now behind it, and Nelson takes his man in against the boards. Parker is in to help, and Orono will dig it out. A centering pass picked off in front of the goal, and here comes East Grand Forks back. Over the line, a shot and a save by Grandy. As Landon Parker made his bid, 1:57 to go. He'll head for the bench for one more rest. I'm sure he'll be out there for the conclusion. Face-off coming up to the right of Finn Grandy. Holm will draw against Mose Messerly. Holm wins the draw. Here's a shot that didn't get through. Picked up by Tichy. And now East Grand Forks will backtrack at center ice. 1:49 left. And over the line they come. It's played ahead by Schlenk in deep. Holm chasing after it. Schlenk heads for the bench as they change. Minute 38 to go. Played down skate to stick by Spencer, but he lost it. Here's Tichy with a trailer on his right. Tichy over the line. It's poke checked away. Up the slot it comes. Jack Anderson, and he couldn't get through. And now here comes East Grand Forks back. Pullman over the line. Plays it across, looking for Avery, and couldn't get it to him. Now comes to the far wall. And James. Then it's played past Parker with 1:10 to go. Parker to the near side for Logan Spencer. Over the line he comes. Spencer tried to shoot through a screen, comes to the far wall. Panzer shoots, and that's stopped by Grandy. Comes to the near side boards, last minute of play. Loose along the half wall in the Orono zone. It's cleared past Spencer. It's going to go back into the East Grand Forks zone, not far enough for icing. No, they do call it. Thought they were going to whistle that down, or wave it off, I should say, and it turns out they whistled it down. 50 seconds to play, and a face-off coming up in the Orono zone to the left of Grandy. 7 shots on goal in the third, in the overtime session for East Grand Forks to 1 for Orono. Holm will face off. There's a shot that goes wide by Cole Avery. Now it's cleared back out to center. 44 seconds to go. Played back in the zone. They got a tag. Now Orono. Stevenson, rink wide's one to center, played back. Beauchamp will chase after it. It's going to come out of the goaltender. And Cooley sticked it out before Simon could get there. Now behind the East Grand Forks goal with 30 seconds to play. Loose in the right corner, Beauchamp for the Green Wave. Now down to 20 seconds to go. They're just digging it into the corner there. Now an East Grand Forks player falls. It's picked up by Bradley Walker. Centers it, and it comes on to Cooley, who makes a stop with 11.5 to play. Good to the last drop here. That's the second shot of the overtime for Orono. With 11 seconds to go, they get an offensive zone faceoff. Simon and Parker one more time. From the draw, Simon won it. And now a shot by Brophy goes off the traffic and wide behind the net with 4 seconds to go. Fed to the near side, back into the Orono zone, and we played to a draw. Our first game of the season is a very good one, a 2-2 tie. And final shots are 29-19. So for the game, for the overtime, 7-2 for East Grand Forks in the extra session, and our FVP MVP in this contest will be Landon Parker, as he scored the tying goal in this game and sort of took the game on his shoulders in the third period. When his team needed him the most, there he was, and Landon Parker with the tying goal will be named the FVP MVP for tonight. We're brought to you by FVP, which has a dominating lineup. Reach for what works with FVP oil, antifreeze, stay tuned, batteries, and more. Visit your local automotive shop or retailer for FVP products, and by Splash Ice Melt Shaker Bags. Simply tear open and shake on surfaces where safety really matters. Jeff Pappas saying thank you for watching tonight from Orono. Our final score is a draw. Orono 2, East Grand Forks 2. You've enjoyed high school hockey here on the Youth Hockey Hub. Good night.